Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Anna and I'm a little bit spooky. And today we're doing some date night makeup. We're gonna have a little get ready with me action and just do a pretty romantic date night kind of look. This is my anniversary, so we're going out for dinner. And I thought I would do just a pretty little classic look for myself and something that I just feel like is just romantic and soft, yet still kind of bold and edgy that suits me. A very me kind of look. So this is what I went with. Kind of a cranberry eye and a raisin lip. Cranberries and raisins, I don't know. And we used the Huda Naughty Nude for this look, which is kind of the perfect romantic palette to me. This is like date night palette, hands down. So yeah, I even did a little bit of false lashes, which I haven't done in a little bit. So we're gonna hang out, just talk about anniversary stuff and date nights and just have a good time together getting ready. I'm very, very wore out today because I had a hectic weekend, but I wanted to pull myself together and at least look human today and feel pretty for dinner. So if that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. Before you do, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know, are you married? How long y'all been together? What do you do to celebrate your anniversaries? Let me know down below. If you're not married, just been together, how do you celebrate your anniversaries? Without further ado, let's get into this romantic date night look. I want to be comfortable while I get ready, so I'm just in a nice cozy cardigan. I've got my brows on, and my eyes are primed, and I've done my skincare, but I figure we'll jump in and get started with the eyes and do the rest of the face together and get ready together. Because it is date night, and it is not just any date night. It is our 6th anniversary date night. Me and my husband have been together 11 years and married 6. I'm trying to get so much coffee in me because, dear God, I'm tired. I've had a very busy weekend, and it's Sunday, and I was initially just gonna be like, you know what, I ain't doing shit today. I'm just gonna lay around and be lazy. But I was like, oh yeah, we're going to dinner tonight. So I need to... And I thought, even though I'm like super tired and achy, it would be nice to sit down and do makeup and put myself together and feel pretty, because it might maybe just feel a little better. Just every joint in my body is sore today. For this look, I'm going to go in with Naughty Nude from Huda, because to me that is one of the most perfect date night palettes. It's just a very kind of romantic palette, a little frisky, but you know. It's just kind of perfect. The colors are very romantic, and I want to do like a cranberry eye. Alright, so right under the brow bone, so there's not a brow bone highlight shade in this palette for me, I'm going to go in with a little bit of my translucent powder from number 7. And just dust that right here along the brow bone and into the transition just a tad. Just helps me blend a bit. But I'm actually kind of short on time because I didn't decide to do this until almost 2 in the afternoon. My husband gets off of work at 6. And I'm like, I don't even know what time it is right now, to be honest with you. Now let's go ahead and start our look. I'm going to take a Sigma E25 blending brush just to get going. And I'm going to take a bit of a Juicy, just a pretty little matte. Tap off the excess, and we're going to start to bring that through the transition and socket line. I want, cranberries and burgundies for this look today. We're gonna go have dinner at our favorite Mexican restaurant, which isn't like it's somewhere, exclusive that we only go for date night or like for anniversaries. We eat there like all the time, like almost once a week. But that's what we want to eat because it's kind of our favorite. But I guess after I get to my makeup on, I'll show you what outfit I go with and jewelry and all that. We'll just get full on ready together and try not to make this video a million years long. I'm just slowly building Juicy up along into that socket line and crease. I have a feeling that when my husband gets home, he's gonna be like, or would you rather go eat here? I bet you he does that because he'll think about somewhere a little more fancy or something that he wants. But we're not one of those couples that usually like buy each other anything for our anniversary. We'll go have dinner. It's not that big a, I don't know, we don't put that much emphasis on it, I guess. Like, occasionally he'll get me like maybe an eyeshadow palette or something. I can't remember what he got me last year, honestly. It's like we don't you know, we don't buy each other stuff. He doesn't buy me jewelry or anything like that. I don't buy a lot of like fine jewelry or anything like that myself. It's just not really a big deal to me. There's a couple pieces of jewelry I want, but they're like super expensive. So it's like, well, if you're gonna buy me jewelry, you know, buy me this. Don't just buy me a necklace from Target, kind of thing. But yeah, we don't really do like gifts and all that. We just go eat dinner together and hang out. And most of the time, it's just the two of us that go out together for dinner. Occasionally, friends will join us, but most of the time, I just like for me and him to go out and have dinner on our anniversary. I'm taking Naughty now, which is the deeper burgundy. Start to work that right out here. 6 years married, and cannot believe it's been that long already. It really doesn't feel that long, and it still doesn't feel like we've been together 11 years. Like, that just always blows my mind. Like, I always just kind of in my head think, oh, like 3 or 4 years. I don't know. Like, it just does not feel like we've been together that long at all. I love the shade Naughty. It's like that perfect burgundy. I'm kind of quiet today because I am tired. And I just want to sit down and do some makeup. If I kept sitting there at the computer anyway, I was just going to be grumpy and sleepy. I really would like to get my husband to do a, like, picking my makeup out video, but I always forget to do it. Like, when he's off work, I totally forget about that idea. But I'm going to make him, like, sit down in here and pick out, like, full face. I think that would be so much fun. I'm really curious to see what he would pick. There's like part of me that knows certain things that he would pick. And I think he would be really good at it because he does pay attention to me when I talk about makeup. Like, he's very, very supportive and encouraging about YouTube and everything. Like, he watches my videos. Like, when I make jokes about makeup or something, he gets them and knows what I mean. And I always, you know, show him, like, something that I want or whatever. Like, oh, look at this. Or this new palette that I'm excited about or something. He's very supportive and, like, kind of, like, humors me, I guess. Because I know he has no real interest in it himself. But he still makes an effort to show interest or even just fake being interested in the makeup. I think he is actually kind of interested in, like, some of it. But he's very supportive of, like, the production side of things. Like editing and all that. Like, I do it all myself, and he's very encouraging about all that and making sure I have what I need, like lighting or, you know, the camera, a computer that can edit video, that kind of stuff. Like, he's very, very supportive about that side of things. Stuff like that. And so that I can, like, you know, play video games. And he knows it's things that I enjoy, so he makes an effort to make sure I have, like, nice things for that, you know? But he knows that, like, I really enjoy editing videos, and he sees my frustration with computers a lot, so he wanted to make sure I had something that wasn't gonna drive me crazy and mess up and all that. Did mention I'm taking Juice Seek and blending out those edges. But it's just little things like that side of it, where he's very supportive and wants me to have all the best, like, I guess, chance at things and opportunity. And not have to compromise and let tech issues or something like that hold me back. So I can just be creative and do what I want to do. It's really nice. I was telling my friend, we were just joking. I was like, I couldn't sneak makeup in. Like, we're talking about joking, people hiding their shopping from, like, their spouse or something. I was like, I couldn't do that if I wanted to, because I would tell on myself in my videos. My husband also knows the difference in brands. It's like there'd be no sneaking like a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick past him and being like, oh, it's just drugstore. No. he knows who Charlotte Tilbury is and stuff like that. Like, and he knows the difference between drugstore and high end. Because I do talk about it, like, a lot. I talk about makeup a lot with him and stuff. And I don't know. I know he doesn't care about lipstick or anything like that. But he still just has opinions about it. And we talk about it. And it's really cute. And he has really good taste, for one thing, also. Like, he's very, very helpful when it comes to, if I can't decide on something, for instance, maybe what lipstick would look best with something, or what top looks best with what pants, any little thing like that, or if an accessory is too much, I can actually go ask him and be like, hey, what do you think of this? And he'll tell me and have a great informed, like, kind of opinion on it, and not just be like, I don't care, or, he shows actual interest in little things like that, which I think is really, really nice and refreshing, because it's the opposite of the stereotypical stuff you see about the dumb, I don't know, type of husband. Because it's not real life, I don't think. I mean, it may be for some people. But no, he's very, like, engaged in my little world. And the same, you know, for him, I talk video games with him. He's not big into sports. Occasionally, you know, we'll get excited about, like, college football or something, and we'll talk about that. But we're more interested, he's more interested in, like, tech and video games, stuff like that. And so I'll sit there and, you know, we talk about that kind of stuff. And I can talk to him about a game that I've never played because I listened to him talk about the game and remember details and stuff of a game that he's playing. And he could sit there and tell me about it and be like, oh yeah, and I kind of could feel like I played the game. And we can have like an actual conversation about like the mechanics of it or this or that. Because like him, with makeup, I've gotten like an understanding of certain games and how video games work and computers work and all that stuff by just listening to him talk and showing interest in it. And there's a part of me that doesn't actually enjoy tech, of course, and some video games. I'm jumping back over with Naughty and really deepening that up right here on a smaller E27. But I think having a relationship like that where you have similar interests though, but have your own interests is just like perfect. Like we like a good majority of the same movies, music, lifestyle things, home decor, and he actually has opinions on all these things. He's not just, I don't know, don't care type of guy. He actually has like opinions on home decor and what stuff should look like. He actually cares about that kind of thing. But we have a lot of common ground on all that stuff, and occasionally, you know, we'll have a differing opinion, but we compromise or we'll meet in the middle, that kind of thing. And it's really nice. It's nice to truly feel like you have a partner in life and you share everything with them. It's not just whatever. And, you know, we have a ton of common ground, but we also have our own interests like makeup, and he has gaming, and can come together though and have the common ground as well. And each have our own like hobbies and stuff. Yeah, you don't have to have every single thing in common, but you do. I think it is important though to have those the common ground in between you. We happen to just be very agreeable with each other, I think, and I think we're like really lucky in that respect. I don't think we've ever really had a true disagreement that was just an end-all be-all, that's it, disagreement type of thing. We'll have differing opinions, you know, on certain topics, but we're willing to listen to the other side, understand where the other person's coming from, and just work it out. And I feel like a lot of people just don't do that. They don't take the time to care about what the other person is feeling. They just want to be like, nope, this is how I feel and that's it. But when you're married, you can't be that way. You have to take into account each other and how your significant other might feel about anything. I feel really lucky that I have a spouse that is so caring and so understanding about things and listens and spends time with me, and we're like best friends also. You know, we do things together, maybe a handful of nights apart. So he'll go maybe visit a friend for a night kind of thing. But it's funny because he's like, no, I'm ready to come home, be with my wife. And because we're very much attached to the hip type, like a package deal. Like there's no this just, you know, he goes off and hunts in the woods for days on end type of thing. And I'm not that kind of wife that's like, thank God he's out of my hair. No, we want to be in each other's hair. We share an office space because we'd like to have that time together in the same room. Like I could bring my laptop anywhere in the house and work, but no, I sit on the futon right by him where he's at his computer desk, and I do my work there, and we just sit together and stay, like, and we always, you know, go places together and do things together. None of us, we don't go off on our own and do a whole lot separately. I think the most I do separately is maybe go over to my friend's house or something, you know, if he's working or whatever, but it's not like we don't have like separate lives at all. It is very much intertwined, and neither one of us enjoy being separate. Both crave being together at home and doing the things together and having experiences with each other rather than on our own. And I think that is just a really lovely way to be in a relationship and have that really strong bond where you truly enjoy each other's company and you're not just together out of convenience or something, you know? I feel like there's so many things like that. But we've been like that since we first started dating. Like the first date we went on, we ended up staying together for like 3 days. Just 3 days. And after that, it was like, you know, every time he had off, he'd be like, hey, you want to go do something? And we ended up spending the entire time that he had off work together. And within like probably 2 months, maybe, we were moving in together. Like we were just immediately like that. And I swear, I tell my friends that I dreamed him, like had dreams about his face and just like knew him when I saw him. Then it's such a strange thing, but I mean it. Like I feel like he was the archetype I had built in my head about who I want to be with. I'm gonna take Desire, which is that beautiful cranberry. But we were truly like inseparable from the moment we met, really, and got together. And when we initially met in passing, he was with someone. I was single, but I was just, and wasn't really like looking for anything. I think I was actually kind of dating one of his friends on and off. You know, nothing serious. I'm just popping this off my finger because it's easier. Oh, that's so pretty. I love shades like this. His girlfriend at the time, I vaguely knew her in passing, acquaintances. We went to the same bar, that kind of thing. But we weren't like friends or anything like that. I think we'd maybe said 10 words to each other in the course of like 2 years. We would just happen to be in the same place type of thing. But she wasn't somebody I was friends with, and vice versa. Not that we just never connected or whatever. But anyway, she had friended me on Facebook. At the time, this was 11 years ago. That was like the big deal. It was like, what's your Facebook? Let's be Facebook friends. Like, you were friends with freaking everybody under the sun. You know, you met them once. Facebook friends. That's the way it used to be with it. And so yeah, I think she friended me. And next thing I know, a couple months later, I get a friend request from somebody. I had no idea who it was because they had a mask on in their profile, like I'm not sure what you call the outfit, but it looked kind of like a hazmat suit. It looked like an environmental suit, kind of like Among Us. That's what it looked like. Somebody in a Among Us outfit. And so I couldn't tell who it was, and I didn't know my husband's name at the time in person. Like, I didn't know who he was. I just knew he was that dude with the goatee who dressed fancy, who dressed really nice. So I just didn't think nothing about it, about who this person was. And they kept commenting on my stuff, just with these most random weird things, which is right up my alley. Still had no idea who this person was. I think finally, the guy I was kind of seeing on and off was like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so. Oh, okay. But anyways, his girlfriend at the time had told him to friend me on Facebook because I would be perfect for him. You know, more power to her for being honest with herself and with him about, you know, we're not a good pair, but this is somebody who I think you should be with. And he just like, okay, and like had sent me the friend request just because she said that. Like, it was kind of weird, but it worked out. And anyway, it's such a like odd thing to happen. Anyways, he started talking like comment section and stuff, and I finally figured out who he was. And he started going to the bar that I was going to because I started hanging out at another one. And we hung out like twice there. And that was it. Next thing I know is he was asking me out on a date. But he called me like kind of late one night because I posted a bitchy status. And he thought I was talking about him. And I was like, how am I talking about you? We've hung out once. I was fussing about somebody else that I was kind of seeing at the time. and he thought I was talking about him. It was like, he was working nights. It was like 3 in the morning and he calls me. And we ended up talking on the phone for like 2 or 3 hours. This is the first time we'd actually ever really, really talked. Like we'd kind of, hung out in a group prior to that, but not really had conversations with one another. Next thing you know, he asked me on a date, I think a week later, on a Thursday. He asked me out. And yeah, that was it. And we've pretty much been joined at the hip since. 11 years ago. It was summer time. And it's like, I can't remember the exact, like, when we first started dating. I think it was in August. No, I think we, like, were, like, official in August. But we started dating, like, that summer. On and off, just seeing each other. And we were like, oh, not gonna be serious. Just going, hanging out, having fun. Like, we even had that conversation, like, we're not gonna fall for each other. Like, us is, like, agreeing, like, no, we're just gonna be, like, friends and hang out. And that kind of thing. But the fact that we spent 3 days together after, like, the first date and we're inseparable. I was like, sure, Jan. Like, when we had that conversation, I was like, I don't believe you, but okay. Because he's like, I think he's always like, don't go fall in love with me or something like that. Like, something really stupid and douchey. And I just kind of laughed at him. I was like, right, okay. A month later, guess who is telling me they loved me? That's all I'm saying, Mr. Man. Mr. Don't Get Attached. He got attached. I was the one that was actually being pretty chill. Because I was only, like, I think 23 at the time. Just young and goofy, and I was not into, like, settling down or anything at the time. I was just having fun. Alright, like, I wasn't, like, hooking up with dudes or anything, but I just meant, like, going out. I was a very active social life, and was just, hanging out with everybody, and wasn't somebody who was very tied down to anything, and I was still kind of working through a lot of stuff myself, because I was a mess. I was a horrible wreck at that time of my life. I mean, I don't know why there was probably so many, like, things that you would see as a red flag that I would not have stuck with me. Like, I don't know, I was just not in a great place. And I'm just generally a mess. Very immature. When he came along, everything changed. I ended up just almost becoming a new person. Okay, I'm going to take Tantric, which is that beautiful... No, I'm going to take Provocative, which is that nice swirly shade with the purple and rose gold. I'm going to put that kind of on the inner part. Right here. I went from being just a very... I don't know how to describe myself at the time. Just didn't care about anything, basically. A mess. Drank a lot, just... I don't know, when we got together, it's like our priorities changed, and we both grew kind of as people, and it was like we both realized we're ready to grow up and be together and be like an actual couple and have a home and, I don't know, be, I guess, normal. I don't know, it's funny how meeting somebody, because we're both kind of a mess at the time, like very, not into settling down, just doing whatever, and that all changed so quickly for us both and it was just such a natural flow and felt right, and it's so hard to describe, but I didn't think, meeting somebody would change your whole perspective on life the way it does. It was just like everything started to snap into place all around, and just everything just felt the way it was meant to be, and just right, and like the way things belonged. It felt like finding home kind of thing. Like I'd just been lost for a long time and just floating through life. I remember thinking to myself, feeling like a ghost. It's a weird thing, but that's what I thought of myself as, like just a ghost floating around. And it's like I suddenly feel like a real person. We moved in together and with a roommate for a little while, and then we got our own place. I owned a home, but I didn't want us to live there. Like, I ended up getting rid of it and got an apartment because it was like I wanted to let go of everything from before and like any all the darkness and sadness. I wanted it to just be gone. And it was like I closed a chapter and opened a new one. And I wanted to have that somewhere fresh and new. So we got an apartment together. We lived there about 2 years, about 3 years maybe, I don't know. We decided to buy a house. We weren't married at the time. We were like, you know what, let's buy a house. Because, I don't know, at the time we didn't think about marriage and it being that big a deal. We were engaged. But we were just wasn't in a hurry to get married. Because it was just a lot to do and just, it was one of those things you put off. And yeah, we ended up buying the house together, I think in 2014, which is the house I live in now. It was like such a grown-up feeling thing. It was like we were both just ready to grow up when we got together and grow together. And it's like we both needed each other to do that. It's like we were kind of had like missing pieces. I know you always want to think that you don't need anybody to be complete and all that stuff, and I think that is true. But it helps when you find that person that can complete you at the same time. I don't think we're meant to be solitary humans. I'm taking a little bit of tantric closer to the inner corner. Very pretty. I love tantric. It's one of my favorite golds. I want to say was though, kind of like when we got together, it felt like, yep, we're going to build a life together. And we're going to grow up and do all the things because it finally feels right to do that with someone. Which I think we'd both been in relationships and stuff, but it just never didn't have the drive to build a life with those people. If that makes sense. It just didn't feel right. And this felt warm and fuzzy and just like home and how it should feel. And from there on though, it was just, the deal was sealed. And we got married in 2015. Yeah, 2015 on November 7th, which is the opposite of my parents' anniversary. They were married on 7/11 and we were married on 11/7. And that was like an accident. I didn't even try to do that. That was just the date that the venue had available. And I was like, that sounds good. And it was like probably weeks later before I realized, hey, that's my parents' anniversary, flip-flopped. It was such a silly thing. So I think I had wanted maybe like 11/11 or something like that probably. I just knew I wanted to get married in November. Because I didn't want like a Halloween wedding, but I wanted a fall wedding. Okay, I'm going to do a little eyeliner. I'm pop on a little bit of liquid liner. I'm going to use the Breakup Proof from Wet n Wild along the lashes. And see the baby wing there. Just for a little bit of definition because I'm going to put on falsies. And I'm going to tidy up any fallout and all of that, and we'll be right back to finish the lower lash line, do the rest of the face, and hang out some more. I feel like I was very rambling and none of that was making any sense because I'm tired. My brain is mush today. It is just mush. And we are back. I just primed my face a little bit with the... Oh my god. I just primed my face a little bit with the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. Drink a little coffee there. And I'm going to go in with a bit of Flawless Filter. Because more is more today. We're going glam and special with the makeup. And I just love the way my skin looks when I use Flawless Filter. Nothing has quite worked. Doesn't quite has the same effect as Flawless Filter does on my skin. I kind of like do the underpainting thing with it. I'm just blending it in with my foundation brush, and if there's anything left on this brush, like afterwards when I go in my foundation, cool. I don't mind that at all. I think that's like a little perk. So that way a little bit gets into my foundation as well. All right, now let's go in with some foundation. And for that, I think today I'm going to use my Butter Believe It from Physicians Formula because I just adore this foundation. So I'm going to take one pump on the back of my hand. Doesn't need much. We're going to apply it with the brush today. And just give that a nice little buff into the skin. I don't want super full coverage, but I want nice coverage. I don't want any of my redness showing. Alright, and that is half a pump of the Better Believe It bronzer. I just feel the Better Believe It foundation. And I just feel like my skin is so perfected. Oh, my freaking camera framing shifted. Sorry about that. My tripod is getting kind of loosey-goosey on me, and it just kind of will tilt when it's not supposed to. Sorry about that. So if my framing was really weird just then, probably is still weird. But yeah, this is like not even one pump, just half a pump. Look how much is still in the back of my hand. This foundation is incredible. Just so beautiful coverage. It just looks so good on the skin. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, and to conceal, even though I can use this as concealer because it is a 2-in-1, I'm going to go ahead and just go in with a little bit of my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Beige. Do my main bit of concealing with it. That looks like a lot of product, but it's really not. It's a very thin layer. And just pat that out. And for just a little added brightness and highlighting, I'm going to take the shade Fair Rose from the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer and just tap a touch right here and a little bit right out here. And blend that in. And on that little inner corner, take a smaller brush to get right in here. And just taking a few extra steps today. Okay, I'm going to set my under eye before that gets any creasiness. And I'm just going to take my beauty sponge here and go in with a bit of the By Terry Hydra Powder right under the eye. I take just a tiny bit on my sponge and just press that in. Using a very small amount. Just enough to set. And we go ahead and set around my chin here, or a crease in around my mouth. I'm not going to put any more cream products in that area of the face. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with my contour. I'm going to use the Patrick Ta She's Statuesque Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. I'm going to take the cream side first with a little contour brush. And tap that in where I want to contour. Alright, now we're going to set the rest of the face with a bit of the Halo Glow Setting Powder from e.l.f. I'm going to take that on my bigger brush, my big old powder brush right here from Sonia Kashuk. I love this brush so much. Just so big and glorious. I'm just going to tap that over the rest of the face to get everything nice and set. And this gives the skin such a beautiful luminosity. Now I'm going to finish up the lower lash line really quickly. I'm going to take my little E27, make sure there's no product on it right now. We're going to go straight into Juicy. Okay, keep that focused on one side of the brush more. And just run that along. Right, and now I'll chip over to a bit more of a focused brush. Take this little detail brush from Sonia Kashuk and we go into Naughty. Just run that closer to the lashes. And focusing that more on the outer portion of the eye. Letting it flow around to connect to the upper. Alright, I'm going to go back into Juicy. Same brush, just clean it off. And just make sure everything is nice and blended. And smoky, of course. But not super smoky. I'm keeping it a little light. Okay, we'll take the E27, run that along under there, just to soften everything out. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more of Juicy with a light hand on my biggest fluffy brush here. This is a Sonia Kashuk fluffy blending brush. I'm going to come right out here and start to pull that a little bit up and out. Kind of lift it up a tad. And it looks a little abrupt right now, but once we go in with blush and everything, it's gonna work out. And if you do feel like it's a little messy, you can always take something like this and just kind of tidy up a bit. And that's my sponge that has a little bit of my face powder still on it. Okay, so now we got that nice lift to the outer corner. I'm gonna take a little bit more of Naughty on my E27. Where did it go? Just had it in my hand. It's right here. just a tiny amount. Just come right here and dust it out. Okay, I think that is the eyes done for the most part. I just need to do mascara and some lashes. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of the face first. And I'm just gonna take a little brush here, and I'm gonna go into back to my Patrick Ta She's Statuesque and go into the bronzer side of the palette. Warm the complexion up. And do a little bit more. And right out here where we applied some of that eyeshadow flowing out, I'm going to take bronzer, just come right here and sculpt that out a little bit. Nice little C shape. And it just blends that eyeshadow in so it doesn't look like a harsh line right there. And then you have the bronzer flowing into the eyeshadow. That gives it a very nice transition into the skin. Alright, and now for blush, I'm going to take the Patrick Ta. Do We Know Her? I think this is the blush I want to use. I'm going to jump into that powder side. I'm going to clean my little brush off again. I'm just going to use the same one. And apply this pretty high and kind of that draping placement. And right up into the eyeshadow almost. And I like to put a little bit around kind of on the forehead, nose, and chin because it just makes it all cohesive. To me, it doesn't look natural just to have blush in like one spot, nowhere else in your face. Alright, and with a very light hand, which I'm not good at with this product for some reason, I always go way over the top with it. I'm going to take a little bit of the cream portion. So I'm trying to use a floppier brush, maybe we'll have better luck. And tap off most of the excess. And I'm just going to apply that up here. For just an added little oomph. Ah, yeah, okay. I like the way it looks today. I did good. I mean, I like the way it looks all the time, but I didn't want to get too over the top with it like I do most of the time. If I go in with the cream side of this, I go super blushy, and I love it. But it's never my intention to get that blushy. It just happens. That just looks so pretty. Alright, cool. I'm going to go ahead and touch my brows up, throw my mascara on, and lashes, brows, and I think I'm going to go ahead and get dressed and style my hair in some way. And we'll be back to pop on some highlight and lip, finish this off. I'll be right back. Alright, eyes are done. I went and put on a velvet top. This is like a high neck sleeveless top, and I'm going to wear it under a blazer, put some slacks on, put on some bold little statement earrings with some little snakes, and yeah, line my lips with NYX Liquid Suede in Los Angeles, and it just kind of smoothed my hair out and brushed it. It's fine. So, for lips, I'm going to go in with the Milani, I know, the Milani Matte Fetish Matte lipsticks and Passion. It's the perfect color for this. I need a nice raisiny, a little bit more cool tone lip. And this one is just perfect. Ta-da! I think that just really completes the look. Alright, so let's do a little bit of highlight. I'm going to take a little bit of white gold from e.l.f. I think that is the one for today. Okay, nice. Let's take a little bit of this on the very inner corner. So grab whatever small brush is in front of me, just to brighten that up. Alright, and this is our look complete. Do we like it? I love it. It's just a nice romantic, soft look. Well, bold yet kind of soft. It's not too much, but it's got that beautiful cranberry going on. I think this is a look you could create with the new Natasha Denona Retro palette. What else? What other palette did I have in mind? The new Vive palette, I think, could kind of get you these vibes. It's not a super unique color story. It's one you could definitely find on the market kind of everywhere, and I just feel like it's a very romantic color story that's perfect for date night because it's just pretty. There's a soft romance to it. I love it. So let's go check out the outfit all together and we will wrap this up. Alright, and here is the outfit I went with. This velvet shirt that I showed you all ago. Here's the blazer over top and the kind of fitted slacks with the seam down the front. Kind of a little bit dark gothic corporate, dark academia mixture here, which is my go-to aesthetic fashion-wise. And on the feet I have these little loafer platforms. You can see here, these are from Target years ago, from Massimo, I think, or Wild Fable. And I love them. They're so cute and I just never think to wear them. So yeah, this is the outfit. Oversized blazer, high neck velvet top, and then some nice fitted slacks. So that is it for me today. Thank you for hanging out and doing this little get ready with me action and seeing the finished look. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you guys do for your anniversaries. How do you celebrate? How long you've been together? Let me know. Let me know all that down below in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.